Hello everyone, myself Navneet Kumar Singh and I am teaching you heat and mass transfer for your GATE examination, my dear students. So my dear students, in this video we will be only discussing about the unsteady state heat transfer. We will be discussing about the unsteady state heat transfer, that is your transient heat conduction. So what is happening in the transient heat conduction? When we are considering time as a variable, okay? In the previous videos we have taken one assumption, that was your steady state heat transfer when properties was not changing with respect to time, okay. But in this video we are discussing about unsteady state heat conduction in which the properties will change with respect to time. So let us see what is this, my dear students. Let us come to the board. Now unsteady state conduction, unsteady state conduction, my dear students, or we also call that transient heat conduction, my dear students. So we have discussed that what is unsteady state. I am just going from basic to advanced, so don't worry, you will understand from the basic to the advanced level. Let us see what is your unsteady state means. Unsteady, what is unsteady? When properties are changing with respect to time, my dear students, with respect to time. Let us see here, your temperature is changing with respect to time. Your temperature is changing with respect to time. How it is changing with respect to time? Let us see how it is changing with respect to time. Let us take a small example. Let us say there is an object. Let us say this is an object, a small object I am taking. Okay. Now what I can observe is that property means the temperature is changing with respect to time in this. Okay. In the previous cases we have seen what the temperature is changing with respect to space, my dear students. So now let us say at T1 the temperature is 300 degrees Celsius. Okay. At T2 the temperature is, let us say for this body, is your 200 degrees Celsius, and at T3 let us say the temperature for this body at T3, that is your 100 degrees Celsius. So what I can feel is that at the time is equal to 1 second the temperature was 300 degrees Celsius. At time T2 is equal to 2 seconds the temperature is equal to what? Temperature was equal to how much? 200 degrees Celsius. At time T3 is equal to 3 seconds the temperature T is equal to becoming 100 degrees Celsius. That means the property, that is your temperature, is changing with respect to time, my dear students. Okay. Now, so one student may ask me, sir, it is changing with respect to space also. Let us see. So the temperature can also change with respect to your space. Okay. How? Let us say that is 300 degrees Celsius here. Let us take another object. So let us say in this object the temperature is changing with respect to space. The temperature is changing. Let us say there is 300 degrees Celsius. Here it is 200 or 280 degrees Celsius. Here it is something like 200 degrees Celsius. So in this the temperature is a function of space, my dear students. What? Space. So my dear students, let us see. Now the temperature is changing with respect to time. Temperature is changing with respect to space. So if we will take both cases, let us say the temperature is a function of space and time. Oh my god, we have two variables. We have two dependent variables, two independent variables, and temperature is depending on them. That means it will be much difficult for us to calculate or to solve this kind of problems where we are having two independent variables. So my dear students, so instead of going into the partial differentiation, or what we can take is that we are assuming in this, we are assuming, my dear students, that temperature or properties temperature or properties, we can say, or properties are not changing with respect to what? With respect to space. With respect to space, my dear students. So only I will be left with that temperature is changing with respect to, temperature is a function of time only. Temperature is a function of time only. So my dear students, when temperature will be a function of time only, then we will be doing that unsteady state heat transfer, which we call the transient heat conduction, my dear students. So hope you have understood this now. So when we are considering time as a variable, only time as a variable, and we are doing the analysis, so what we will call this analysis to be? What we will call this analysis to be? So this kind of analysis, when we are only considering time as a variable and that properties are not changing with respect to space, we call this analysis as a lumped system analysis, my dear students. So let us see what is your lumped system analysis. So let us see what is your lumped system analysis. So let us study your lumped system analysis. Lumped system analysis. So in the lumped system analysis, my dear students, what we are studying? The temperature varies with respect to what? The temperature varies with respect to time. The temperature varies with respect to time, and temperature does not change with respect to space, my dear students, with respect to space. But how it is possible that temperature will only vary with respect to time, and it will not vary with respect to space? How we can be so sure that it will not change with respect to space? Let us see. So what are the conditions that the temperature will not vary with respect to space? Let us see the conditions for temperature not changing with space, my dear student, that is your XYZ. Okay, now we are just dealing with the temperature is not changing with respect to what? Your time. It is changing with respect temperature is not changing with respect to space. So let us see where we can apply that lumped system analysis and what are the conditions for that. So where we can apply this lumped system analysis and what are the conditions for that? Let us take a small example. Let us say there is a cast iron casting. Okay, and what I am assuming is at time t is equal to t1, the temperature is 6, or we can say, let us take 1000 degrees Celsius. 1000 degrees Celsius everywhere in the body. 1000 degrees Celsius everywhere in the body. Okay, now let us take that is at 1 second. That time t is equal to 0, we can say 0 second, and at after some time, that is after some time t, that is t2, the temperature of this is becoming to be, let us say, 500 degrees Celsius, my dear students, and 500 degrees Celsius, my dear students. So everywhere what I am considering in the body, the temperature is, that is, let us take 2 seconds. Everywhere the temperature is constant throughout the space, my dear students. So when the temperature is constant throughout the space, we can apply our lumped system analysis. So what we can apply here? So lumped system analysis is valid. Lumped system analysis is valid. Lumped system analysis is valid. But if the temperature is changing with respect to space, let us say at time is equal to T2, the temperature is 500 degrees Celsius here, the temperature is 700 degrees Celsius in the middle, in the center of this casting, and the temperature is 500 degrees Celsius again, and let us say at the outer surface it is 480 degrees Celsius. So my dear students, in this case you can feel that temperature is changing is a function of x, y, z, or we can say it is changing with respect to space. So we cannot apply our lumped system analysis here. So in this case, lumped system analysis is not valid, my dear students. So how we can achieve this condition when the temperature is not changing with respect to space? Let us see. So if the conductivity of the object or the object we are taking for the our steady state analysis is very high, conductivity of object is very high, let us say that k tends to infinite, but it is not possible that k will tends to infinite. Okay, it is not possible that infinite that conductivity will lead to your infinite. It is not possible. So what we can say, the conductivity is high. So my dear students, understand it carefully. Let us see, if we are having an object, okay, we are having an object, or we can say, let us say if we are having a small, let us take that example, we are having a small iron ball, okay. So if conductivity of that particular, or we can say any metal, so the conductivity of metals is very high. So if the conductivity is high, then my dear students, you have seen in the conduction that temperature gradient will be less. You have seen like this. So let us see, if temperature, that conductivity is high, then that kind of temperature gradient you will have. Let us say from T1 to T2, you will have delta T, that is temperature gradient small. Okay. Now, when the conductivity is low, K is low, my dear student, then delta T will be what? Delta T will be high. So we can see that if conductivity is high, then there will be the small variation in the temperature inside the object. Why? Because we have seen in the previous videos, and also your conduction resistance is what, my dear students? Conduction resistance for any object, something like this, is direct, or we can say inversely proportional to what? Conductivity. Inversely proportional to what? Your conductivity. If K will be high, then our conduction will be less, due to which the heat will transfer more fast, and due to this, when heat will transfer more fast, there will be the small temperature gradient inside the body. Okay. So this was the first condition, that your conductivity must be high, my dear students. And the second is what? Second is if the length of the object is small. If the length of the object will be small. So I hope this you understood this. So if a small metal ball, therefore a small metal ball I have taken. So if conductivity will be high, the temperature variation we can say not the temperature variation inside object will be small, my dear students, will be small. So when the temperature variation inside the ball will be small, so what we can take our lumped system analysis. And also there is a second condition. What is that, your second condition? Let us see. So in the second condition we can take, let us see here, second condition is also there. What? Second condition is your length of the object must be small. So let us see, my dear students. if length of the object is large, or we can say if we are considering a long object, so what will be the temperature? Let us see T1 is here, and let us take temperature T here. So what will be the difference between T1 and T? T1 and T, it will be large. Why? Because length of the object is large, and let us say heat is conducted inside this like this QX. So when the heat is conducted and the conductivity I have already taken high, so when this heat will be flowing inside this, there will be what? More resistance. Why? Because our conduction is directly proportional to your length. So my dear students, the conduction resistance will be more, due to which your resistance will be more, and hence your temperature variation, that is temperature gradient, will be large. Temperature gradient will be large. But if I will take a small object, let us say if I will take a small object, or let us take like this. So the temperature variation, because as the length is less, let us take the D is here. If the length is less, what will happen? The temperature variation will be less. But here the temperature variation will be more, my dear students. So we can conclude that if the object is having a small length or a small size, then there will be a small temperature variation inside the object, and then we can apply our lumped system analysis in this case. Okay, so what we can apply? Let us see. So the temperature variation, if length of object will be small, then we can apply, or we can say will be small, then temperature variation will be less. Then temperature variation will be less inside the object, and hence we can apply lumped system analysis, my dear students. So two conditions we have taken, that conductivity must be high and length of the object must be small, because then temperature variation will be less, then temperature will be a function of time only, that will not change with respect to space as it is changing in this. So we can apply the lump system analysis, and lump system analysis only can be valid when there will be the temperature variation with respect to time only. Hope you have understood this. So let us study about the general equation, how we can analyze this object, what is happening inside this. Let us see what is happening inside this. So my dear students, let us see what will be the temperature variation inside that object, or how we can calculate that temperature for that small object, how the temperature variation can be calculated. Let us see my dear students. So let us study the equation for time taken by an object to reach a particular temperature, So let us study equation for time taken by an object to reach a particular temperature. So my dear students, let us see. If I am having a small object, and it is surrounded by the fluid, let us say that is your small object, of conductivity K, volume V, and your specific heat Cp, okay, and also your some area A, okay, some area A. Now when I am putting this hot object inside the cold fluid, let us say this is surrounded by a cold fluid. This object is surrounded by cold fluid, my dear students. So let us say cold fluid is there. outside. So this is surrounded by a cold fluid having temperature T infinite. We have already taken this, and heat transfer coefficient H, and heat transfer coefficient H, my dear students. Okay. Now let us also consider that this is the diameter of this object. Now I am considering this element or this particular object. What is happening there? This is heating up or this is cooling down. This is cooling is occurring. Let us say cooling is occurring. Cooling is there. Cooling is occurring. Let us say cooling is occurring. Okay. So now what I have taken? I have taken a small object. I have taken a small object. Okay. And in this, what is happening? That is heat is transferred from that object to the surrounding fluid. Okay. Object to the surrounding fluid. Let us say, let temperature is T of this object at any particular time T. Okay. Or let us define these properties so that you will remember them. So let us consider an object surrounded by, or we can say a hot object surrounded by cold fluid. What? Let us say K is the conductivity of what? Of object, my dear student. Of object. Okay. Let us take V is equal to the volume of object, and Cp is equal to the specific heat of object, and A is the area available for heat transfer, of object, and let us take m is the mass of the object. Now these are the properties of the object we are having. Okay. Now what is T infinite? T infinite is your surrounding temperature. T infinite is equal to surrounding temperature or surrounding fluid temperature, my dear students. Surrounding fluid temperature. And what is H? H is the heat transfer coefficient. So we have all these, my dear students. Let us see if how I can analyze this is, so whatever the heat will be lost by that object will be gained by the fluid. So what will happen? The slowly temperature of the fluid will increase and temperature of this particular object will decrease. So let us take that Ti is equal to the temperature of object at time t1. At time t1 is equal to 0 second, my dear students. Time t1 is equal to 0 second. Okay. And let us take that T is the temperature at time t. Let us take T is the temperature or at time t, and T is equal to the temperature of object at some particular time t, my dear students. Particular time t, that is T2 is equal to T. Okay. So after some time t, that object will lose heat to the surrounding, and the temperature of this object will decrease. So let us see, my dear students. So what I can observe is there is some small basic principle. So hope you have written this. Let us see. So what is the energy balance equation principle for that? So energy balance principle for that, whatever the heat is conducted whatever the heat is convected into fluid by object is equal to energy lost by fluid by object, energy or lost by object, or we can say if there was a heat, if there will be a heating case, then what will happen? That object will gain heat, okay, and temperature will slowly increase. But if that is, I'm taking the cooling case, so temperature of this, that what will it will lost the heat to the surrounding, like my body is losing heat to the surrounding air like this, okay. So the temperature it will lose to the surrounding, and the that energy of this body will decrease, okay. That is the energy lost by object, energy lost by object. So how we can say, what will the, that is Q convected by the fluid is equal to energy lost, or we can say decrease in energy of body, decrease in energy of body, that is your object, we can say object. So my dear students, what will happen? What is the heat convected to the surrounding fluid? So the heat convected will be equal to what? It will be equal to H, and the area of that particular object by which the heat is convected to the surrounding fluid into the temperature at that time. So we can take what? The temperature at this will be what? T minus T infinite, because that is gaining heat. Who is gaining heat? That surrounding fluid is gaining heat, and that will gain heat what? Equal to the temperature difference, that is the temperature of the object at particular time T, and that is minus T infinite, that is the temperature of the surrounding fluid. So it will be equal to the energy lost by, or equal to the MCP dt, change in temperature of what? And change in temperature of that body from initial to the final T, my dear students. So what will happen? Let us see. Now HAT minus T infinite, can I write this dt is equal to T minus T infinite, or we can say T infinite minus T infinite minus T. That let us say at particular time T, the temperature of this object is T, okay. Now it is losing heat to the surrounding, and it is decreasing its temperature. So this will be, let us say I have taken the minus already, so this will be the higher, because it is losing heat, so we can directly take like T minus, that is T infinite minus, or T minus T infinite, okay. T minus T infinite we have taken. Why? The temperature of the body is higher than the surrounding temperature, so this will be taken as T minus T infinite, and I have taken the negative already, so that temperature T is decreasing, so this will be negative, that will be T infinite minus T, which will be what? This will be negative, my dear students, but I have already taken the negative. So let us see, this will become, so this heat will come in what? This will come in what? So I have to also consider time, so this will become what? This will become HA T minus T infinite multiplied by dt is equal to minus of MCP dt, my dear students, okay. Now let us see. So this will become this equation I will got. So my dear student, this will be the equation. Now this is what? This is gaining heat, the fluid is gaining heat, that's why they will be positive. And what? The object is losing heat, that's why there will be negative sign, okay. Hope this is clear. The initial and final conditions, what I will have, let us see. This will become HA T minus T infinite dt minus of MCP dt, so I will take, so T minus T infinite, so if you will differentiate this with respect to what? That if you will differentiate this equation, that is d of T minus T infinite, this will become what? dt. So you can directly write like this, my dear students, or you can directly take this also. So this will become how much? Let us see. This will become h of a. This will become, let us see, h of a. Let us take that negative this side. So this will become minus of h a t minus t infinite, t minus infinite, t minus t infinite dt is equal to mcp d of t minus t infinite, my dear students, t minus t infinite. So what I am doing is I am arranging the terms. So I am taking this term to this side and I am taking this term to this side. Let us take. So this will become d of t minus t infinite divided by t minus t infinite is equal to negative, that is minus of ha by m cp. So let us integrate this equation with respect to what? With respect to the conditions. So let us integrate this equation. So integrating, let us say equation 1. Integrating equation 1, let us say what I will have. So I am integrating this equation, that is d of t minus t infinite divided by t minus t infinite is equal to minus of ha. So I can write m is equal to rho v, no problem. That is rho, that is density into volume into cp, and this will be dt. Now all the terms are constant. So let us integrate with respect to boundary condition. So at time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 0, that is your initial time I have taken. So the temperature will be Ti, my dear students. Okay. At the time t is equal to t is equal to, that is t1, let us say t initial is equal to 0, t final is equal to t. What will be the final temperature? This will be t, my dear students. So that is t initial I have taken Ti, t final I have taken t. So if I am integrating with respect to these conditions, let us say what I will have. So if I will differentiate, this is something like d by, that is dx by d, that is dx by x integration. So this will become what? This will become ln of t minus t infinite. Then this is varying from what? From ti to t. So this will become minus of ha by rho cp is constant, ha by rho v cp is constant. So if I will integrate dt with respect to what? Time. So this will become what? T, and there will be some initial condition, that will be 0 to t. So let us see. This will become what? Ln. Let us put all values. So if I will put this value first, then I will have ln of t minus t infinite. Okay. Now minus ln of putting the second boundary condition, that is ti. This will become ti minus t infinite, my dear students, is equal to minus ha by rho v cp t. Okay. Now let us put, if these are in like subtraction, they will be divided. Let us say. So this will become ln of t minus t infinite divided by ti minus t infinite is equal to minus of ha by rho v cp t. Okay. So can I take this log to this side? So this will become how much? This will become, let us see, this will become t minus t infinite divided by ti minus t infinite is equal to e to the power minus ha by rho v cp into t. So this will be the final equation, my dear students. So this will be what? This will be your final equation in which, this will be the final equation in which you can easily calculate the temperature variation with respect to time inside the object. Okay. So how we can we can also notice that the temperature is varying exponentially with respect to time, my dear students. So the temperature is varying with respect to time exponentially. So let us say, if I will have time t in on this plot, that is x, and if I will have temperature t at y, so what will be the temperature variation? Let us see. So this will be exponential. So this will be something like this, and this will be something like this. For this will be exponential in this direction with respect to t, and that graph is for cooling, my dear students. cooling, and if there is heating, then this will be something like this. So this is for your heating. This is for your heating, my dear student. So when cooling is occurring, that means that case, then temperature will decrease exponentially with respect to time. And if heating is there, then temperature will increase exponentially with respect to time, my dear students, with respect to time. So now hope you have understood this. Now two objects, if I am having two objects, let us say if heating is there, if I am taking a small temperature change, that is dt, and that is very much important for a great point of view. Okay, so let us see. So in this graph there is temperature time t and there is a temperature on this graph. So what I can observe is when I'm cooling this, that dt is, if there is a small temperature change dt, then time will be t1. Let us take the time is t1. Again, what I'm taking, let us take there is a small temperature change, again this much of temperature change. I'm taking only this much of temperature change. The time will be, let us say, t2. The time will be t2. Okay. Now, what we can observe is that t1 is less than t2. The t1 is less than t2 when I'm having that dt same. The temperature difference I'm having same, but the time is that is taking more time to cool down when the temperature is almost similar than when the temperature is decreasing. How you will understand this? Let us see, my dear students. If I am having an object, okay, and that is having some temperature, let us say this is having 200 degrees Celsius temperature. Let us say this is having 200 degrees Celsius temperature, and I have to cool this to up to 150 degrees Celsius. I have to cool it to up to 150 degrees Celsius, and the surrounding temperature, let us take, is 50 degrees Celsius. The surrounding temperature is what? 50 degrees Celsius. So in this case, what is the dt? What is the temperature gradient? If you will see, the temperature gradient is more. That is your T minus T body minus T infinite is more. How much? That is 200 minus 50 degrees Celsius. 200 degrees Celsius minus 50 degrees Celsius. So this is 150 degrees Celsius. This is 150 degrees Celsius. So when the temperature gradient is more, so from here, if you will check, the temperature gradient is more. Okay, when the temperature gradient is more, my dear students, like this, let us say if this is your 30 degrees Celsius. Oh, sorry, we have taken 50 degree. This is your 50 degrees Celsius. This is your 200 degrees Celsius. But if the temperature gradient is decreasing, as the temperature is decreasing from here to here, if I will see, let us say, if I am taking that similar object at, that is 200 degrees Celsius, that is 50 degrees Celsius, let us take that is 150 degrees Celsius. And again, I am cooling from 150 to 100 degrees Celsius. So the temperature difference is same. So what is delta T? Delta T is how much, my dear students? That is 200 to 150 degree I am cooling. 200 to 150. So delta T is how much? Delta T is 200 minus 150 degree. That is 50 degrees Celsius. Again, I am cooling from 150 to 100. So delta T will be what? 150 minus 100 degrees Celsius. So this will become 50 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now, but if I will see the surrounding temperature is 50 degrees Celsius. So what I can observe is the temperature gradient is less. So this is your T minus T infinite, which is equal to 150 minus 50 is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. So delta T gradient, total temperature gradient in the case second is less. This is more. So when the temperature gradient is more, the object is cooling faster. Okay, the object is cooling faster. That means it is taking less time to cool down when the temperature gradient is high. So the temperature, when the temperature difference from the surrounding fluid to the object will be more, so there will be more temperature gradient. So what will happen? The heat will transfer more fast and it will take less time to cool down up to some temperature. But when let us say the object is at your 150 degrees Celsius, so it is cooling up to 50 degrees Celsius, so the temperature gradient is less, so it will cool slowly, or you can also see, you can also analyze if an object is cooling from, let us say, 55 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius, the delta T is only 5 degrees Celsius, so it will take more time to cool down, cool down, or to come into the equilibrium with the system. So hope you have understood this concept, my dear students. So let us see. So we can say, that is your note, if an object is cooled from 200 degrees Celsius to that is 50 degrees Celsius, that is more temperature gradient, or we can say more temperature change, more temperature gradient or difference. It will take what? Less time to cool down. That is your T1. My dear students. Okay, but that is to 150 degree cooled from 200 degree to 150 degrees Celsius. That is more temperature gradient, or more temperature gradient is how much? That is temperature gradient is 150 degrees Celsius. So this will take more time, less time. Now, if the temperature gradient is less, second, if the temperature gradient is less, it will take, if temperature gradient is less, it will take more time than T1. Okay, it will take more time than T1. So that's why T1 is less than T2, my dear students. So hope you have understood this question, this concept. Okay, so let us see. So my dear students, in the previous video we have seen that what was the Biot number and how we were using that concept, that Biot number concept. Okay, now in this video let us see what will be your one time constant, or your response time for a thermocouple, or what we can calculate the constant for a thermocouple, that is time constant of a thermocouple, my dear students. Let us see for a thermocouple, my dear students. So what is thermocouple? So thermocouple are the devices, or we can say sensors, which are used to measure temperature. Okay, so thermocouples are the sensors. They are sensors used to measure system temperature, my dear students. So let us say if there is a thermocouple, how it works? Sir, just we connect them with some EMF, and just we then let us see what is thermocouple, and let us see these wires are thin. Okay, thin wires must be used, my dear students, and there is some surrounding fluid which is flowing over this, which is flowing to this ball, my dear student. There is a small ball here. Let us see. There is a small ball here. So this is your thermocouple. Okay, and there is some small ball which is flowing. Let us see. So that is connected to like EMF and all. So what I am having some temperature T of this particular ball. I am connected with these thin wires which are made up of different dissimilar metals. Okay, now some surrounding fluid is coming to be like this and flowing, that air is flowing to this. So what will happen? How this will measure that temperature? So first of all, this will reach to that surrounding temperature, and then it will measure by some thermometric means. Okay, now what is happening? Let us see. So if this ball will reach to the surrounding temperature. That will take some time. That will take some time to reach what? Surrounding temperature, and this is called your response time of the system. This is called your response time of a thermocouple. Response time of a thermocouple. So this is the time required. This is the time required to reach. How can we define this? This is the time required by thermocouple to reach system temperature, my dear students. System temperature. So this is the time required to reach the system temperature, my dear students, and this is called your response time of a thermocouple. So this thermocouple will take some time to reach that system temperature, or which temperature you want to measure. This will reach. Okay. Now this is called your response time. Let us see how we can calculate this response time. How we can calculate. So we know that by lumped system heat analysis, by lumped system heat analysis, what we have, let us see what we have. If we will apply lumped system analysis to this particular thermocouple, what will happen? Let us see. So I know that T minus T infinite, if T is the temperature of the thermocouple after some time T, so this will be Ti minus T infinite is equal to e to the power minus Ha by rho VCP multiplied by T. So my dear students, if I want this term to be 0, why I want this term to be 0? That's why, because let us say if it is having some surrounding temperature T, when I have connected this to your EMF or something, EMF I have connected, so there will be some little bit of heating inside this. So when this will be having some little bit of temperature and this is reaching to this temperature, which is the surrounding fluid temperature, so it will take some time. So if I want to measure my temperature so quickly, so what should be there? That temperature must be similar to this, or it must come to equilibrium with the surrounding temperature which it has to measure in a fast manner. So when it will come in a fast manner, that means that must come to equilibrium. So that T in this case, that T of the thermocouple must be equal to T infinite for less time, my dear students, so that it can measure quickly, it can sense the temperature quickly. So this will become what? Equal to, this will become equal to 0, my dear students. So this term will become equal to 0. That's why I will left with this. So this will become, or I can take this, that 1 upon e to the power Ha by rho Cp, rho Vcp into T. So my dear students, for response time of a thermocouple, so for quick response, if I want a quick response, so what should I have? So for quick response of a thermocouple, what should be there? This value of C must be high. Why? Because I know that 0 is equal to 1 upon e to the power that C into T. I have taken C so many times. So what should be there? That 1 upon e to the power some infinite value must be there to take this, because 1 upon infinite will become what? Infinite. So this will finally become 0. So this value of Ct, the value of HCT, that is equal to Ha by rho Vcp must be high for quick response, my dear students, for quick response. So for this the value of the value of number 1, h must be what? H must be high. That is your H, surrounding fluid. H must be high. Okay. Second, the area must be large. Area must be large. Area must be large. Third, your volume must be small. Volume must be small. And a specific heat, that is Cp, must be less. Cp must be less for solid. Or you can also write or in the terms of characteristic length. So this will become Cp is equal to HAP by rho VCP. So V by A for this, that is a spherical. So you can directly take H T by 3 or HT divided by rho Cp into R by 3. So the radius of this particular ball must be small. So the dimension, or we can say size of the particular ball must be small, my dear students, must be small. So if it will be small, this all value will be large, and for this, if this value will be large, this will tries to infinity, and you will get your thermocouple will respond quickly, okay, and it will measure temperature so fast, okay, it will measure temperature so fast, my dear students. So radius of this must be small. Now let us see. So what I can have, let us see. So by this case, I can define something, that is your one-time constant. That is your one-time constant, my dear students. That is your one-time constant. Let us see. So I have T minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite is equal to e to the power minus H A by rho V Cp into T. Or I can write this, that implies T minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite is equal to 1 by e to the power what? Ha by rho VCP multiplied by T. So where if I will take that to be like 1, this value to be 1, if I will take this value to be 1, so this will become something, T minus T infinite by Ti minus T infinite is equal to e to the power minus 1. So what I have done is that I have taken rho VCP by HA is equal to T, which is called your one-time constant. And this one-time constant predicts the error in temperature measurement. My dear students, measurements. So let us put, so I have taken this to be like one-time constant, so this will become what? E to the power Ha by rho VCP, and this is defined as your one-time constant. So this will become equal to what? So this value will become equal to 1. So if I will put a one-time constant which is equal to T, so this will become how much? Let us see. So this will become T minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite is equal to e to the power minus 1 upon T into T. So this will become e to the power minus 1. So this will become T minus T infinite is equal to e to the power minus 1 into Ti minus T infinite. So we can say directly, or let us take this from this side only, Ti minus T infinite. So my dear students, this will become T minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite is equal to 0.368, or if I will multiply by 100 both side, So this term will be something like T minus T infinite divided by Pi minus T infinite is equal to percent is equal to 36.8% something. Okay, 36.8, my dear students. So this is the temperature something. This is the temperature, and what is the initial temperature? So let us see what will be the initial temperature. This is something like 0.368, my dear students. Let us forget it. Okay. Now let us see. This was the initial temperature. This was your final temperature. So this is some kind of error what I am getting in some kind of difference I am having in the initial temperature and the final temperature. So this is the time required. So what is your one time constant? So this is the time required to reach 63.2% of initial temperature difference is known as sensitivity. So I have to first calculate the sensitivity for quick response. Okay. Now what will be the sensitivity, my dear students? So how I can calculate the sensitivity? So the difference between this and this temperature, or we can say the error between this temperature will be 0.368. So if I will calculate this, that is 1 minus T minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite, multiplied by 100. This will become equal to 1 minus 0.368, my dear students, 0.368, and this, which is nothing but Ti minus T infinite divided minus of P minus T infinite divided by Ti minus T infinite multiplied by 100 is equal to, so this will come to be like how much? This will be 63.2, 0.632, okay, multiplied by 100. And this term, my dear students, is called your sensitivity. This term is called your sensitivity of the thermocouple. Sensitivity of thermocouple, my dear students. So this is called your sensitivity. So the time required by a thermocouple, so we can say sensitivity can be defined as the time required by a thermocouple to reach 63.2% of the initial temperature is called sensitivity. My dear students. Thermocouple to reach 63% of the initial temperature difference. That is your difference. Initial temperature difference, my dear students. So this is called your sensitivity, my dear students. Okay, this is called your sensitivity. And we have seen that for quick response our sensitivity must be high. Okay, and second, our response time of a thermocouple must be less. Okay, now hope you have understood this, that what is sensitivity and what is the one time constant and what is your time constant of a thermocouple. So there may be like 1 or 2 questions on this. There will be 1 more question on this. You can easily skip this topic. Okay.